The Mysterious Tadpole by Stephen Clark. The Mysterious Tadpole. Uncle Malister lived in Scotland. Every year he sent Lewis a birthday gift for his nature collection. "This is the best one yet," cried Lewis. The next day, he took his entire collection to school for show and tell. "Class, this is a tadpole," said Miss Shelbert. She asked Lewis to bring it back often so they could all watch it become a frog. Lewis named the tadpole Athens. Every day, Athens ate several cheeseburgers. Lewis found that he was eager to learn. When Athens became too big for his jar, Lewis moved him to the sink. After Athens outgrew the sink, Lewis' parents agreed to let him use the bathtub. One day, Miss Shelbert decided that Athens was not turning into an ordinary frog. She asked Lewis to stop bringing him to school. By the time of summer vacation arrived, Alphonse was enormous. "He's too big for the bathtub," said Lewis's mother. "He's too big for the apartment," said Lewis's father. "He needs a swimming pool," said Lewis. "There's no place in our apartment for a swimming pool," said his parents. Lewis suggested that they buy the parking lot next door and build a swimming pool. "It will cost more money than we have," said his parents. "Your tadpole will have to be donated to the zoo." The thought that Alphen in a cage made Lewis very sad. In the middle of the night, Lewis remembered that the junior high had a swimming pool that nobody used during the summer. Lewis hid Alphonse under a rug and snuggled him into the school. After making sure that Alphonse felt at home, Lewis went back to bed. Every morning, Lewis spent several hours swimming with his friend. In the afternoon, he earned the money for Alphonse cheeseburgers by delivering newspapers. Meanwhile, the training continued. Alphonse learned to retrieve things from the bottom of the pool. Summer vacation passed quickly. Lewis worried what would happen to Alphonse now that school had reopened. As soon as the first day ended, he ran back to the junior high. The students were getting ready for after-school activities. Lewis arrived just at the first swimming race began. Alphonse was delighted to see all the swimmers. "It's a submarine from the other planet," bellowed the coach. "Call the police! Call the Navy!" "No, it's a tadpole," cried Lewis. "He's my pet." The coach was upset and confused. "You have till tomorrow," he cried, "to get the creature out of the pool." Lewis didn't know what to do. On the way home, he met his friend, Miss Severs, the librarian, and told her his problem. Miss Severs went back to the junior high school and with Lewis, but when he saw Alphonse, she was so shocked that she dropped her purse and the books she was carrying into the swimming pool. Alphonse retrieved them. Miss Severs telephoned Lewis's Uncle McGilster in Scotland. He told her that he caught the little tadpole in Notchless, a large lake near his cottage. Mischievous said, "I'm convinced that your uncle has given you a very rare Notchless monster." "I don't care," cried Lewis. "He's my pet. I love him." He begged Mischievous to help him raise enough money to buy the parking lot near his apartment so he could build a swimming pool for Alphonse. Suddenly, Mischievous had an idea. In 1639, there was a battle in our city harbor, she said. A pirate treasure ship was sunk, and no one has ever been able to find it. But perhaps we can. The next morning, Mischievous and Lewis rented a boat. In the middle of the harbor, Lewis showed Alphonse a picture of the treasure chest. Alphonse disappeared under the water. Lewis and Mischievous bought the parking lot. They hired some helpers. And when the pool was completed, all the children in the city were invited to swim. That night, Lewis said, "Alphonse, next week is my birthday, which means we have been friends for almost a year." Far away in Scotland, Uncle McGilster was also thinking about the approaching birthday. While out hiking, discovered an unusual stone in a clump of grass and sticks. "A perfect gift for my nephew," he cried. "I'll deliver it in person." Uncle McGilster arrived at Lewis's apartment and gave Lewis the present. Lewis couldn't wait to add it in his collection. Suddenly, a crack appeared in the stone. The Mysterious Tadpole.